Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Rotovisor deck profile for August 2024. The Rotovisor deck is the Brantgate new deck we got out of the Illusionless Strife booster set. I would say, sadly, it is one of the weaker decks from the set, with the support definitely being overlooked by some of the faded Clash cards, but regardless, a good amount of you have been asking for a deck profile on the Rotovisor deck. I am missing some of the cards for the deck, like a Bent Robust and Combine Rusher, but if you wanted to run them in the deck, I could show you what grade 2s are just placeholders for those cards, because as I said, I wasn't really focusing on making this deck, just wanted to give you all the deck profile for one of the last decks before we get on with the ZBTO3 Dimensional Transcendence booster set. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the Ride deck with the energy generator, our starter being Rotovisor when wrote upon. If you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Rotovisor. When wrote upon by a grade 2 with Rotovisor and its card name, search your deck for up to one arena card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So it just gives you access to our Nova Grapple Arena, Urban City Arena set order that we run in the deck. And also our grade 2 is Wasser Rotovisor. When wrote upon by a grade 3 with Rotovisor and its card name, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose a one grade 3 card with Rotovisor and its card name, or you go up to one arena card from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you did not reveal a card, you may call this card to rear guard, at least giving you something if you don't end up revealing from the top of your deck. With our grade 3 being Glanzel Rotovisor, the main grade 3 in the deck. We are running other copies of the grade 3 in the deck, but before we get to it, I figured we go over the actual arena order for the deck. 4 copies of Nova Grapple Arena, Urban City. In the order zone, when your unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Rotovisor and its card name and another arena in your order zone was not rest this battle, rest this card, choose a unit that attacked and it gets Vanguard/Rearguard. When this unit attack hits, charge 1 or energy charge 2 until the end of the battle. So this is just the big setup for the deck, giving you back Counterblast to use, which is what a Bent Robust and Combine Rusher can definitely help with their setup in the deck, or even the Energy Blast 2 grade 2 from Faded Clash if you wish to run that and your grade 2 lineup. But Urban City is just the setup card that's meant to be used for this card if you have a Vanguard with Rotovisor and another arena in your order zone was not rest this battle. So just having the option for each one, 2 rests, building up your energy generator, and also, refilling your counterblast free to use also. For the grade 3s, I do want to run 3 copies of Glanzet Rotovisor. I have 1 Quaking Ripple Monster Eldiglemma as just a placeholder for the last copy. On Vanguard, during your turn, if your order zone has 3 or more arenas, all your front row units get plus 5,000 power. And on Vanguard, once per turn, at the end of the battle that you attacked, Counterblast 2, draw a card, choose the same number of rear guards as the number of arenas in your order zone, and stand them. If you chose 3 or more, all your chosen rear guards get plus 5,000 till end of turn. So very similar to the fact that the order is called Nova Grapple. The deck is very similar to the Nova Grappler clan from older Vanguard with the restand power. Sadly, it's just the restand power that you need to make use of with your arena. So if you don't have any more arenas set up, you have a weaker restand power. So you need that consistency. You do have the 1 to search off of your ride deck, and then just hopefully you can add other ones from your deck to your hand also. For the grade 2s, as I said, this is the bigger spot where Combine Rusher or a Bent Robust would also be placed in the deck, but we do have the new grade 2 for the deck being our Compassionate Mechanic. During your turn, if your order zone has 2 or more arenas, it gets plus 5,000 power. And also on rearguard, once per turn, at the end of the battle as you attacked, if your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater and an arena in your order zone was rest this battle, Energy Blast 3, draw a card, choose one of your other units, and it gets plus 5,000 to end of battle, giving you more power boost along with your Vanguard's power, making use of the energy charges that you make during the battle phase as well. For this card to be able to give you draw power for a once per turn at the end of battle that it attacked, more as a setup and support for your other units that just haven't attacked yet. Now this next spot is definitely a spot holder for either Combine Rusher or a Bent Robust, depending on which one you want to run, and that is just Rage Fist Dragon, Amelius Dragon, being a Soul Blast 2 power boost card. Once again, this would be the spot for either a Bent Robust or Combine Rusher, with the next grade 2s being that as well. You can even adjust some of the numbers for your Compassionate Mechanic for some of those numbers also, with the other grade 2 spot, being the 2 copies of Aiding Monster Technion. While it does help with the orders to be able to choose an order when it's discarded from your hand during your turn, so if you discard it off of the ride deck, but once again, this could be Combined Rusher if you wanted the Amelius Dragon to be a Bent Robust. For the grade 1s, 4 copies of Detonation Mutant Bauble Mine. Just having the set orders in your order zone gives you options for Bauble Mine to be able to put into the soul. Countercharge 1, giving you Soul Blast power, and also more countercharge power on top of our Nova Grapple Arenas that we use in the deck also. For the grade 1s, this next spot can be switched around with a couple cards. I have the 2 Great Sickle of White Flash Balderade. During the battle, this unit boosted if your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater and your order zone has 2 more set orders, it gets +5. At the end of the battle, boosted if your order zone has a set order, put it into the soul. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or greater unit card or 1 set order from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Being Surge Power for the other Nova Grapple Arena set orders. We am also trying out the Silver Star Dragon Saturd for the actual energy charge ability for this card, and from the rear guard, a drop when your other is discarded from your hand during your turn. Energy Blast 3 and remove this card. Choose one of the discarded cards and put it into your hand, just giving you more of an option from the drop zone, even with the last being White Jeweled Beast Synthetica for added back power for the ride deck to give us more shield power, and then also the option to choose a set order from our drop and putting it into our hand. And then also the 2 copies of Courteous Supporter, add back power for the option of being able to use this card for added playstyle, as well for the add back power of the arena cards from our drop zone to our hand with the use of a Soul Blast and a discard from our hand. It's a once per turn, that's why I'm only running the 2. You could potentially have the 1 go into the damage zone, but as long as you have the 1 on the field, you have at least the add back power each turn of this card to add your order back. With the last of the grade 1s being 3 copies of Pantera the Slasher. This is the new order search from the drop, but this card could also be replaced with either a Bent Robust or Combined Rusher. So this, and then the other spot being your Amelius Dragon, or even the Energy Blast 2 Guard Persona Ride Grade 2 from Fated Clash. And then the 4 copies of the Sentinel being Violate Dragon. If you wanted to run Elementary Sanctitude, you could just drop one of the spots here for that Blitz order also. With our trigger lineup being the 8 criticals, so 4 copies of Patrol Robo Decker Cop, 4 copies of Star Aggression Dragon, and then we're also, just for added pressure with the other power boosts we do in the deck, 3 copies of Cardinal Draco Imperio, and then for the heals, the 2 ability triggers and the 2 copies of Nabalum. If you want to run all of the 15k vanilla heals, you can do that as well with this spot, with the final one being the Over Trigger and Elbow Breath, just for added pressure for our critical of our Vanguard to begin with. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. As I said, a lot of you have been asking for a Rotovisor deck, so at least wanted to provide this as one of the last deck profiles from the Illusionless Strife booster set. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.